like it a lot. It's really cool.
So,
It's a great car.
I'm just like bouncing around from off-road vehicle to off-road vehicle. So
You do a lot of off-roading?
yeah.
You see the way he takes to work?
The interstate?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Wisconsin roads around here, you have
Damn,
to
Alex
off-road.
is going to like that one because you said interstate, not interstate.
Yeah, because that's what it is, interstate.
Remember that time when your car broke down? Just off on the interstate.
Interstate.
Alex was like, what's an interstate?
Where I broke down with the Avenger because we were street racing.
Oh, that shit's funny. All right. Dive into it?
Yeah, so we're not talking Viper Energy this time. We're not talking with Chris this time because you don't look like Chris.
No.
But we're just talking where we left off, I don't know, 2 podcasts ago.
Yeah.
As far as Viper as a business goes. And I think we left off on your big orders.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we left off on the just getting the Air Force order.
Mhm.
So again, at this point, we just hired like our first few employees. We have like 3 or 4 people, and then that Air Force order came in of 150, wasn't it?
120.
120.
And those had to all be built.
Aluminums. They were aluminum chairs too, so that required a lot more work because we had the machine, CNC machine, all of the aluminum legs, right?
Damn.
5 legs per chair times 120. Sam, do the math.
I can't. I'm not great at investing.
And then we also had to drill the holes in all the foot rails.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? So there was a lot more work in these aluminum chairs too.
Huh.
That I guess, I mean, that's what they wanted, so that's what they were going to get, and we weren't going to say no, right? Because there was a higher priced product, so we're going to do it. But the kicker was, remember, they didn't want our standard seats. It had to be a solid rubber seat per request of the Air Force.
It had to be like puncture proof, chemical resistant.
And that's the kind of seat we have in the break room, right?
Yeah,
Right.
there's a couple in
Yep.
there.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so there was a longer lead time with those. So, but that was actually a good thing because it gave us more time to prepare. So, I do remember talking about how Drake and I would go up to our dad's place, and he would drill rails, we would machine legs, and we worked up there for multiple days to try and get ahead.
So how much of a lead time was that order versus when they needed to be delivered? And did you guys hit it?
Yeah,
I think
we
it was
actually delivered
we
early.
did. Yeah, we delivered like a week early.
Yeah,
We
Damn.
did.
I don't remember what the timeline was.
I want to say it was like 3 months.
Yeah, because I know that.
Pretty
I
sure.
know the seat. It took like 3 months for the seats to get made.
Yeah.
Right? And then I know those chairs shipped out of this building. Remember? Because we brought them from our dad's shop to here.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the first thing that shipped out of here because we had nowhere to put them at our old place.
It was.
Because it was like 4 or 5 crates, so we had to make the crates too, which were wood. So when you put the video for this together, remember I have the pictures that
Yeah.
I can send you to put it to
Sounds good.
include in the video clip. But we had to build all the wood crates too, and we stacked them upside down on each other, plastic wrapped them together, and then put them in these giant wooden crates that we made.
Damn.
And I
That took a lot more time than you would think.
yeah.
No, I can
Putting
imagine.
Those crates.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It was a
You
lot of
can
wood.
get-
I remember it was like I think it was almost $3,000 just
It was.
in wood.
That's when wood went through the roof
Yeah,
too.
of course, because this was like right
Nothing-
during
it
the
was right
Nothing's
during-
easy. Yeah.
it was
pandemic.
The pandemic, right? And everybody freaked out, and building prices went through the roof.
Yeah.
Cost of building materials, and I want to say it was like $3,000, almost $3,000
Yeah.
just for the wood for the crates. And then we had to put them all together, and you're right, they do take a ton of time because you got to do multiple cuts per side. And I tried to design the crates as efficiently as possible, so to reduce the amount of cutting, right? And I think we did pretty good though. I can't remember how many chairs we were able to fit in each crate.
So to
It was like
put this in perspective, we have
I think it was 32 chairs per crate, something like that.
we have
It's a lot of
3
crates.
people, maybe 3-4 people, and this is like our biggest order to date, and it required a lot of man hours. So we spent an entire weekend. It was like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, like with a mini assembly line building these things together. By the end of it, because you have to start the bolts by twisting it. By the end of it, do you remember how raw your fingers were?
Yeah, dude,
Like,
we
I
were
couldn't touch things for a while.
I remember that Saturday it was just you and I out there. We were out there till like midnight.
Yeah.
And finally I'm like, dude, I can't move my fingers anymore. My fingers are
That
like
sucks.
stuck. I'm like, I'm done for the night. Like, we'll come back tomorrow. And
Toss my hands up and there's like a bullet.
no, our fingers were. I remember my fingers were bleeding.
Yeah.
like from assembling spinning on so many nuts, and we would alternate.
wild.
We would alternate spots just so it, would break up the monotony a
For
little
anyone
bit.
who hasn't purchased a Viper chair, they don't take real long to assemble,
No.
but usually the first time is a little bit longer. So I would have, like, whenever we go to a shop, I feel like we get chairs done in like 15 minutes or less.
Unless you're Alex.
A
Unless you're
single chair.
Alex.
Yeah, well then he's
And that's
probably,
your Alex. It's like, yeah, I'll start it, and then I gotta take a call.
hey, can you do this one real quick for me? Yeah.
But at this point, it was do whatever it possibly takes
Yeah.
to get that order done, just because we needed that money. That money to us was like 6 more months of rent and possibility of getting more orders from them.
How many chairs was it?
120. I think. Wait,
So-
are you trying to figure out the price?
No.
Oh,
No, I'm trying to figure out the amount of hours it would have taken
Oh.
to
build
do.
them.
So that is the amount of minutes per chair. So divided by.
So we had it down pretty efficiently. So I want to say it was probably like 10 minute. We'll even just say 10 minutes a chair,
Okay.
right? Times 120.
Yeah.
Come on,
So 1200.
SRE
Come on.
boy.
Yeah. I got it. 1200, right? But then
There you go.
then there's 60. So 1200 divided by 60 minutes in an hour. So that's 20 hours of building chairs.
Yeah, so a full day for the most part. So
That's
yeah,
like
it
2
took,
days.
Took
That's
us
like
two,
pretty
two
much
days,
2 days.
which sounds about right. If my memory serves correctly, it was about 2
Damn.
days of assembly, and like I said, we had to build the crates too. So we had a lot of helpers
There's a
that were even volunteering hours to
Yeah.
help us out.
There's a lot behind the scenes too of getting the order. Since it's military,
Oh, without a doubt.
you have to go behind the scenes. There's something called like the SAIC code. So like you got to get a specific code to label your chairs of what category they're in. Then you have to get approved. You have to send all this documentation. So that whole process was well over probably like 2 months,
Wow.
month and a half, 2 months. Just
Well,
because
I mean,
they're not
nothing with the government is
Goes quick.
efficient or quick. So
Okay.
you just kind of got to do what they request.
Yeah. But that order was our first big one. And this was, to put a timeline on it, what was the date of this?
I have it in my phone from my pictures.
But this was the same year, which we'll talk about next, is when we got that massive order of
The
1,000
follow-up?
chairs, the
Yeah.
follow-up, which I would honestly say helped bring our business to the next level. Helped us.
2021, September of 21.
Oh, damn. So
is
they were
when we
almost
building
back to
them.
back.
Yeah, they were almost back to
Because
back.
Walker was in October. So
No, I remember seeing the email was in September as well, and then they officially placed the PO in like October.
yeah.
And remember, the huge kicker was they wanted them all before Christmas.
Yeah. So we
Oh,
just
a 2-month turnaround from a company of two
Right.
1,000
guys. Yeah.
custom Viper
you
chairs.
said 2021.
2021,
Okay. So we're
which is right when we were moving
Yep.
into this building as well.
So to bring this all together, we're at a point where we have 3 or 4 employees. We outgrew our current facility of 3,000 square feet. You put pictures on here. It was stuffed. You couldn't drive a forklift. There wasn't enough room to squeeze somebody in between
Wow.
the forklift when you're driving.
Dude, I remember walking through that place and like your foot would get hung up on so much shit on the ground.
Yeah.
Like not shit, but like pallets of product
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. You
No,
know
like
what I mean?
actual shit.
Like it would come up and grab your foot. Like it's been sitting there for
We
so
were
long.
wearing diapers. Yeah.
So stupid. No, but like we would move product foam. The foam for our packaging foam takes up a lot of space, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would literally have to move pallets out every day so we had space to work and then move them back in. Luckily, it was summertime,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we could have the stuff outside and, it wasn't winter. It wasn't snowing out or anything.
Yeah. So then we got to the literal breaking point of that facility, and almost every night Dylan and I would drive around Green Bay. Again, this is during COVID, so all warehousing went everybody
Everything
kept what they
went
had.
cold. Yeah.
Everyone kept what they had because they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So nobody was selling, nobody was renting.
If
and
they were asking top dollar
yeah,
for it.
it
like,
was insane. So we would drive almost every day after work around Green Bay because you never knew what popped up. We would, even things that didn't have signs out front, we would drive up, peek through the window to see if anybody's in there.
Yeah, we
And,
did
like,
that at a couple buildings. Dude, remember that one? We wrote a letter to them.
Yeah.
So there was a building down the road from us that was perfect. It was a nice little building. I don't even know how big it was. Probably, I don't know,
12,000 square feet, probably.
12,000 square feet.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a nice building, right? Nice landscaping and everything. We're like, there's no cars in the parking lot. It looked vacant. Like, nobody's been there. We're like, this would be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Like, but there's no for sale sign. There's no nothing. I remember looking online to see if I could find out who owned the building. Couldn't really find any information on it. And I remember I would watch the building. I would like drive past every day to see if there were cars there to talk to somebody. And nothing ever happened. So eventually I'm like, fuck it, we're gonna write them a note.
Yeah.
So we wrote them a letter,
Yeah.
basically pleading for them to rent us this building.
Seriously.
And shoved it in the mailbox. Never heard anything until. This was 2021 until a couple weeks ago. Remember I
Yeah,
told you he
yeah.
reached out? All of a sudden on our sales email at Viper Industrial, we got an email from somebody saying that they're a current tenant in that building and we're wondering if we would want to split the building with them.
Holy shit, I just had a freaking
A
light bulb.
couple weeks ago. You know
Viper
what I mean?
Energy.
We're going to need a bigger building than that.
True, but that's
That's a start.
damn.
But that kind of pisses me off.
I know it does.
Because that means they fucking remembered us. And now they're like, what the
Yeah.
hell? It's been 2 years. Like, why did you
Hit him with
reach out?
a 3/4 25 split. I'll take half the warehouse. Though,
yeah, right. No, honestly, it was desperation. We needed something because we couldn't continue to operate out of that building anymore.
Yeah.
I remember we even moved motors out of there up by Dad
Back up to Dad's shop.
because we just needed every square foot we possibly could. And yeah, we're peeking inside vacant warehouses, going on Green Bay taxes to find out who was filing taxes for that to get their
Wow.
contact information, writing them letters like emails because we just needed something
Yeah.
desperately.
I think we reached out to probably every single commercial real estate agent
Yeah.
in the greater Green Bay area just
For sure.
to see what they had for inventory. We probably had to walk through at least 10, 15
Easy.
Wow.
buildings, and they were all either way too expensive or way too shitty or something. They would need a ton of updating. We couldn't afford to update it. So
No
I remember
offices.
no offices. And then there's that other one down the road from us as well.
Yeah.
Remember, it had one office. It was
Yeah.
remodeled. It was remodeled really nice though, and it was like divided in the back where like we could
Yep.
we could have put the fab department and stuff like that. And we're like, well, fuck. There's only one office, but like, okay, maybe we'll make it work. You know what I mean? Like
Sip side by side. We'll
back to back, just typing away.
figure it out.
But I don't really remember what happened to that build. Why we didn't get
Well,
that one either.
the company next door, that was theirs, and they were just kind of hanging on to it.
Yeah,
But-
they were going to use it for overflow. Yeah, that's right. Now it's all coming back to me. We went and met with that guy
Yeah.
too, basically pleading with him, like, dude,
Seriously.
we really need this building. Like, what's your plans? Like, I know you're hanging on to it for storage, and
Yeah.
he basically told us to fuck off. Because I remember when we got in the car, we're like, what was the point of him
Literally,
wanting to meet with us to tell us no?
he pretty much
Like-
met with us to shove it in our face that he's not going to let us rent. We're like, whatever.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
pissed me off too. I'm like, really? Like,
So then we're at the point of literally not know. Oh, we even visited. We found vacant land,
Yeah.
and we even met with realtors to see how much it would be to build a first facility.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
that was like our
insane.
well. I think we should touch on the castle one too, because remember we were gonna.
Yeah, Castle One.
There's this big we'll give them a,
A
shout
White
out.
Castle?
No,
No,
Castle X. So they make like snowmobile
Okay.
and for ATV apparel and helmets and shit like that. They were moving out of their building into a new building that they had built, and we toured their building they were in. And I don't know, it was a couple $1 million, whatever it was. Obviously, we couldn't afford it at the time, but we're like, what? Like, we could probably make this work. Like, what could we do? Do we find another tenant? Like, how do we make this work? And
now that building probably would be good.
I don't know. It was kind of
It
set
had
up.
upstairs.
It did. It was kind of set up. It wasn't really set up for manufacturing.
Not
like
really,
it was
no.
just kind of like they did a lot of apparel and stuff. So it was like it didn't have good power. It didn't have good air. Lighting was kind of wonky.
Yeah.
So like I don't know,
Okay.
whatever. It ended up not working out, and we were to the point where all right, let's build something then. Like we were looking for land. Remember, we almost pulled the trigger on the
We
land.
almost did.
on land
Literally.
too, off of Shearing Road, and it was a nice nice property. I mean, not saying. I mean, it's still empty.
It
Who knows?
is.
Maybe maybe it'd be
It's a nice area.
It is a
Lots of
future
manufacturing.
Yeah.
future
Coastal
site for
highway.
Viper.
You
And-
even started designing buildings.
I do. I have it. I still have it
Yeah.
saved in my computer. I was starting to draw layouts and floor layouts and plans and stuff to try and figure out how much
Yeah.
square footage we would really need. You know what I mean? So we could start getting
You
pricing.
should see what that square footage you had mapped out, because we probably would have outgrew it.
Probably.
Even-
That's the
we
thing.
probably would've had
so
to,
I remember
you know-
when I was drawing it, I was keeping in mind for expansion. So like
Right.
if we had to expand, which direction would we
Yeah.
go, and like how far could we go, which direction, depending on what the
Yeah.
property was
what
like.
could you afford first, and then what could you add?
Right, exactly. So like, I remember I had the whole floor plan and everything all laid out, and I was to the point where I was talking to a good family friend of ours about getting pricing. Remember Turner Construction, and I'm like, what can we do? You know, like, can you help us out? Like, basically,
We're
hey,
broke.
man, we're fucking broke.
We're broke.
Like,
we need, or,
we're good for
Yeah.
it. Just like try and help. You know, we
and
need
he's
some,
the guy to go to
Give us
though,
some
if you need
time,
something.
yeah.
we need some help too. Yeah, dude, he's saved. I mean, shout out to Rick Turner. He saved our ass
Oh, yeah.
multiple times. Even just this past year, going to SEMA, like Dad's truck broke down.
I forgot about all this stuff, dude. I love this.
Literally a phone call like, "Hey, dude, we're supposed to leave for SEMA like
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas tomorrow. Our dad's truck broke down. Can we borrow yours?" "Yeah, dude, absolutely, sure. I'll
pick it
drop it off." And, like,
Oh my
he
God.
dropped it off like within 2 hours. We're like, dude, holy fuck! Like we
just
totally owe
saved
you.
our entire
Like
trip.
you're fucking just an awesome friend, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was talking with him about getting pricing together to put up a building, and then this building that we're in now popped up just by word of mouth, and we jumped on it.
I was driving to go pick up seats, because at this point, this is when we're still picking up our seats. Because it was either $100 for them to deliver it, or we could save $100 every trip. And at this point, $100 at that point was a ton of money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we're taking 5 trips a week. That's $500. That's $2,000 a month.
Yeah, we were
Let's
crunching the
save
math.
that.
Dude, we even bought the truck.
Yeah.
So we should touch on this too. Our first big expense was a $2,000 1996 Dodge Ram 1500 that we bought from one of our employees, Dustin.
Probably saved us 25
Because we were
30
picking
grand.
up seats.
That's crazy to think about.
Dude,
First,
I remember buying
it was
it.
the biggest investment we made.
Yeah, like $2,000. Holy fuck, dude!
Like I think that light over there was $1,600.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Send it back. Turn it off.
But I was driving back, picking up seats, and I get a call from one of our vendors. He's like, our father or our sister company, our parent company, grew out of the space that they're in right now, which is where we're at, and they still have a lease. They have like 3 years left, and they want to see. They're looking for somebody to take it over. They haven't put it on market yet, but they're going to. So again, at this point, there's nothing on market, and if this would have been on market, like
Would've
for
been
sale, it
gone.
would have been gone in a day.
Yeah.
So he calls us, and I'm on my way back. So I'm like, cool, I'll go drive by and see what it looks like. Drove by, and immediately I'm like, damn, this thing is massive, like huge. I came inside, took a tour, and there's 100 offices, massive, 48,000 or what is it, 35,000 square feet out there, and it was scary to be like, how can we make this work? But something in my gut knew that this was our home. And I called Dylan and my dad, and they were at EAA, which is obviously this sport or air show, and both of them were
I remember we FaceTimed, and I'm like, dude, this thing's they got a ton of overhead cranes in there. Like, this is way out of our
yeah. He's like,
ballpark,
no.
you know? Like, this is
Both
way
of
out
them were
our
like, no way. There's no way we could do it. I'm like, but look at what they're selling it for. Look at how much or look at the square foot per year compared to everything else. And we did the math, and at that point, we just had to take the leap because our other space was so filled where we just said, screw it. Let's do it. We have to do it because otherwise we're going to drown where we're at. And if we don't do this, we're going to wish we did.
I mean, we kind of couldn't afford it either at the time. Like, we definitely took a risk by signing this lease because, like, it was a lot. It was over our budget for sure, what we wanted to spend. But like I said, like, we were desperate. We had to find a location that we could grow into.
It was 5 times our rent.
Yeah.
So we
So
were paying before.
When calculating that kind of risk, I mean, obviously it's not something you can sort of like write down on paper, but did you see the availability and time availability instead of moving all those things of styrofoam out or moving all the stacks of boxes out? Did that open up more time for you to be efficient and pack more orders? Or like, how did you calculate, the price of it, which was out of your range, compared to all the benefits which it provided?
I mean, it was mainly, like I said, we were so desperate. There's literally nothing else out there. So it was either this, and we figure out a way to make it work. Like Andy always says, zero option mentality, right? Mm-hmm. This was our only option that we saw at the time, and we wanted to build a building, but that was going to be at minimum a year-long process. What are we going to do in the meantime? Mm-hmm. Like, are we willing to stunt our growth for a year because we're waiting on a building to be built? This one's here, ready to go, and the timeline worked out perfect. Like they wanted to be out as soon as possible. The business that was in here wanted to be out as soon as possible, and we wanted to be in as soon as possible. So it was almost a perfect scenario. So it was kind of one of those things where it was almost too good to be true. Yeah, it was more out of our budget, but what's our other option?
We had no other option. We looked at it of, if somebody else took this over and we still can't find something, how are we going to feel?
Yeah.
And at that point, I would have felt like total garbage. I would have been pissed.
Kicking ourselves in the ass. So
I would have been pissed. But I remember getting the first rent bill and then getting another one because you have to do a down payment or a deposit for a full year's or full month's rent.
Yeah.
And that took a beating, especially at that point.
Yeah.
But it was, I think one of the other determining factors of it was that Walker order. That helped a ton of us,
where are we going to put parts for 1,000 chairs?
Yeah.
And where are we going to put these all together? And where are we going to store them once they're all boxed up?
So the month of October, 3 major things happened. One, we got the Air Force order out. So we invoiced them. Mm-hmm. We know that's coming in.
October 2021.
2021. Then we also found this building. We're in negotiations to sign.
Okay.
And then we also got this thing called a Walker order, which
A Walker order. This thing called a Walker order.
Yeah.
Walker order.
It's a business term?
Yeah, this is
thank
super,
God it saved us.
super technical.
It's
called
it's a gift from God, dude.
Purchase order. A PO.
Some people say that. But
only S&P people say
that.
I remember I was on a plane going to Barrett-Jackson, the trade show. It was our first trade show that we were going to do. And Dylan was still back at the office because you were going to fly in later that day. We needed somebody there to keep things going. And right before my plane took off, he calls me and he's like, dude, you just see the email that came in? And I'm like, no, tell me about it. He's like, a company wants 1,500 chairs. And right away, I doubt it. I'm like, no way.
No,
like,
I'm
is
like,
it
no,
spam?
I checked the email. I checked everything. I'm like, it's a legit company.
That's
like,
spam, yeah.
That
would be my first thing.
Right.
Like,
right. So I'm like, well, yeah, let's 100%. Let's do it. So
and there's a phone number on there. He gave us his phone number, and I called him as soon as I got off the phone with Dane to get more details. And it was the real deal.
It was the real deal. So I land, and we continue talking about it. This conversation continues over, I'd say, 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And we're at the point of them placing the PO when they lay out, hey, we need to have this shipped out by Christmas.
Yeah, these are all Christmas gifts, so can you guys have them shipped out before Christmas? So we're like, yeah, we can. Absolutely.
You have to do it. You can't say no at that point.
I'll be right there, yeah.
You can't say no at that point.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it. So this is end of October, so you have November and December to get 1,000 chairs shipped out the door. We haven't even sold 1,000 chairs yet at this point, total probably.
Probably close.
Probably pretty close.
Yeah.
So this is doubling our entire year's worth of capacity in 2 months. But that order pushed us into getting this new building, feeling confident to come in here.
Hire new people.
Hire new people, allowed us to figure out assembly lines.
More marketing.
Yeah. More marketing. Gave us financial
stability, confidence for a little while.
There we go. It's kind of like we finish each other's sentences.
Like Tom Cruise. Can we put that in there?
What's that?
Dude, the Tom Cruise and Ben Stiller skit where they finish each other's sentences?
Dude. I haven't seen it.
It's so good.
Okay.
It's kind of like we finish each other's sentences. He's like, no, we don't finish each other's sentences. But they say it together. Dude, it's the best thing ever.
We've worked together for so long now. It's almost like, I don't know, it's kind of like we almost finish each other's sentences, kind of.
I mean, I don't think we've ever finished each other's sentences.
It's so funny.
But the Walker order really allowed us to grow. And yeah, we took the order. We're like, hell yeah, let's do this. We didn't require any down payment because we didn't know that that's what you do on bigger orders. At this point, we're just like,
We're learning yet.
we're learning. yeah.
Yeah.
So order all the materials, get it all in. Mind you not, they wanted custom logos on it too, and their logo is massive. So to produce those seats took a long, long time for embroidery.
Yeah.
So we have a one-line assembly line to pump out 1,000 chairs. Every night when we have materials there, you and I were staying here till 7 to 9 p.m. every night, boxing chairs.
Just boxing as many as we could that we had parts for.
Listening to Megan the Stallion, On Blast, Andy Frisella, him and his brother. It got us through like both. It was so funny now looking at it. If I was a fly on the wall, you and I just we didn't even talk much. But
I
whenever
thought it was
we heard,
fun, dude.
it was fun. But whenever we heard something on a podcast, both you and I would get all fired up, start talking about each other, then just go right back to boxing chairs up. But yeah, we had Duddy at this point too. So Duddy was helping box chairs. But he needed to be on the main assembly line because we had regular orders coming in also.
Yeah.
So Dylan and I
Damn.
kind of focused on the Walker side of things, and we get all the chairs boxed up. We get them wrapped up. We have, I think it was around 850 ready to go. And I emailed him, hey, man, where do you want these shipped to? I'll schedule a shipment.
We thought they were all going to be going
Like
freight
palletized,
by
yeah.
palletized.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
And-
what I would have assumed.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, oh, cool. Wow, you guys got them done already. Here's all the addresses to ship them to.
it was like a whole spreadsheet.
It was a
full of,
spreadsheet
like,
God.
addresses.
of 1,000 addresses. Each individual chair had its own address. I'm like, wait, so you're telling me you want all these to a separate address? He's like, yeah.
That's called a wrench
Yeah.
into your whole fucking plan.
So I don't even know. I can't even remember how we uploaded those to our shipping process to print those labels, but it was just another thing that you couldn't complain. You had to get it done, and we figured a way out how to do it. It didn't matter how late you
Almost
had to stay up.
unpredictable.
It is.
Yeah.
And you just find ways to do it because it's either life or death, you know?
So basically, sometimes you just got to fucking nut up, right? And take a chance and do what needs to be done. Like,
Yeah.
even if,
Tighten up
I mean,
that nut cup.
yeah, we're scared as hell jumping into this
Hell
building,
yeah,
but like
dude.
you have to do what needs to be done to keep moving forward. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
especially if it makes you uncomfortable for a while. Because guess what? You adapt and overcome, right? So like
Yeah.
what made us uncomfortable back then doesn't anymore.
Right?
You know what I mean? So like it just fine tunes your skills.
So that 1,000 piece order, was that the biggest still to date, you said?
Biggest individual order, yeah.
Okay.
But it's kind of what we always talk about. That mindset we had back then is still what we hold today of never, I don't want to wished we did.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can we draw?
Take that again.
You don't want to
carry the
wish
two.
that wished we did.
I don't want to go home wishing that.
I had made a wish.
Damn, that's hard. I had it good before. I don't want to go home wishing I did. And
Yeah.
did.
Did. Didn't do. Did.
I think they have a word for this. It's called regret it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's what most people
That's so basic, though. I'd rather stumble over words.
You don't want to regret missing out on the order.
Exactly. No, anything. I never want to go home.
that you wished you did.
That I have wished that I hadn't wished. That I regretted.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm very
damn.
lost.
Don't go home wishing that you wished you did.
No regrets. No
No
regrets.
regrets.
No regrets. That's sick. That's crazy. It's weird to think about because the way you guys describe it, like, I joined only months after that order was like completed, and you guys were already in this building. I was gonna say something before, by the way, which is like when Dylan, you described the company who is leaving this building, like how they wanted to get out kind of quick.
Mhm.
It definitely still looks like that in some areas that they just kind of like.
They literally
Left quickly.
fucking saws
Yeah.
all the pipes to disconnect the machines, and
Oh, yeah.
they were gone.
Out the
Yeah.
door. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Yeah.
You
But they
know?
did help a lot, and they kind of definitely, we owe them a lot too, because they put their at least the president of that company did,
It helped us a ton.
he helped us a ton and put his word on the line, kind of stuck his neck out for us to get us in here because he wanted to get out of the lease, right?
He was taking a risk too.
He was taking a huge risk on us.
Yeah.
Like we're just two kids that are just making some chairs and have a little bit to show for it. Like he totally, helped us out.
Interesting.
And I remember we sat with our landlords and basically we had to pitch them on the trust us. Remember we met at their headquarters and it was like the president. So this building is owned by
Oh, that's right.
Another
we didn't
company.
just get it. We had
we didn't just get it. We had to sell them on it. And so it was us, and we met with the president of the company that was moving out of here, and then 3 people from the business that owns this building, right? Our landlord. So it was like their chief financial guy, their operator for facilities or whatever, and then like
That's
I don't
weird to
know,
think about
what
because
was the
I
other guy,
can't.
like the vice president or
Yeah.
something like that, and we had to like, hey guys, this is why we think you should let us rent your building. We're good for it.
Yeah.
Like
Seriously.
and totally sell them on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, we did pretty good.
Yeah, I mean we're charming as fuck.
Yeah. I guess so.
You just don't want to
And
wish
it's-
you wish you did.
It's turned out. Somebody get that on a shirt.
gonna say?
I don't. Dude, I can't even.
Get that on a shirt. That'll sell.
You wished if you wish you did. You
just don't
didn't
wanna
want to
wish you
wish.
I wish
did.
I did.
And
But yeah,
then
that October of 2021 was a pivotal point for Viper's future success.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was crazy, late nights, but it was great.
boom, and then it rolled over right into our first kind of real holiday season. Like
Nice.
Black Friday and
Yeah.
everything, and because like before that it was just you and I on Black Friday.
Yeah.
We're like, fuck yeah, we sold 20
chairs.
25 chairs this Black Friday, like we killed it. But like now we actually have a little bit of infrastructure set up, a few systems in place, a couple employees. Like now we can hammer this Black Friday. And I mean, for our size at the time, we did pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now like we just keep setting that peg higher and higher and higher. And
Well, you almost don't have to set it anymore because with brand recognition and with the reach we've developed,
Yeah.
I think that number, obviously there's still a marketing budget behind it, but that number still continues to climb.
Yeah, it becomes a product like we have becomes a product that you put on your wish list for like Christmas.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Father's Day or whatever it may be. And that's awesome. I love that because every year, like you said, the bigger your brand gets, the more and more people that wait for that big purchase to make it.
Yeah. So I helped Chris out answering some customer emails last night.
Yeah.
We just sat on the couch, drank some beer, and went through the customer list.
That's
And-
why he's not feeling good. He's hungover.
No, Chris didn't drink. I did.
Oh.
But the number of Chris is like fretting because there's a whole list of emails, right? You type in the little chat bot and it refers you to an email if it's a question that's not answerable like immediately.
Right.
And there's just a handful of people who, even though Chris is, was a little worried about having to answer all these, like, I don't know. So many of them were just like, dude, I love your guys' product. Like,
Yeah.
Is there any chance I could order this, this, and this, and like get it like combo together? Because I
Right.
don't see it on the site, and it's like, damn,
Yeah.
like,
No, it is super cool. Like that's my favorite thing about going. I mean, I still go through the customer emails and
Yeah.
respond to emails to this day, and that is my favorite thing is reading emails from customers saying how much they love our product.
Yeah.
Like that is so
Dude,
fucking cool. Like
I got
honest-
chills yesterday reading.
Yeah, no, it's legit.
reading one of them.
Yeah.
Like whenever I get a little bit of doubt or a little bit of anything, you just got to go through and read some of those emails and like, fuck, no, this is the real deal. People love it. You know what I mean? So like touching back on the Black Friday thing, like to this day, it's still, it still gives me chills thinking that like what people want our product for Christmas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like somebody goes, well, what do you want? Ask their dad or their
Yeah.
husband or son, whatever. What do you want for Christmas? Oh, I want a Viper chair.
Yeah,
Like, just think how fucking cool that is.
pretty sick.
Yeah.
You know, that's freaking cool. And then on top of that, like, if they get it for them for Christmas, the excitement and the joy they see
That is made on that.
that is
yeah.
made when they see
Yeah.
our product
Yeah.
under their Christmas tree and they're fucking ecstatic to get it. Like, dude, that like,
And they open it up and it's
Dude, I'm not gonna
super
lie.
nice
an
packaging.
that's an
Anyway,
unreal
so
feeling.
cool.
Anybody ordering a Viper chair, you get it in the box.
Oh, it's so
you know,
sick.
like it's perfectly wrappable.
Yeah.
It is. It's like the
It
right
is.
size to wrap as a gift. It's,
Yeah.
It's a square box. Like I'm bad at wrapping gifts, and that would
Yeah.
make an easy one to do.
One thing on the customer service side though is being careful that there's always going to be those 5% of people, 7% of people that are just complete assholes. Always, you know,
It's gonna
whether it's
exist
on
regardless,
whether
yeah.
it's on Facebook, Instagram, they're commenting, but those aren't the people we're targeting anyways. Those aren't our target customers. And you're always, no matter what you do, you could solve all
Yeah.
world hunger, and you're doing it in a wrong way. You know,
You just honestly,
those
you
people you
treat-
just ignore.
Yeah, you just block out their negativity, treat everybody with grace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they have a problem, try and solve it as efficiently as you possibly can and move on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really let the shit bother me anymore because I see all those emails of people loving our product. So, I mean, you don't know, this dude or girl, whoever that's reaching out that's, you know, being rude or whatever, they might have had a bad day. You don't know what happened.
Yeah.
You know, what
Oh,
led
big
up.
time.
You know, what led up to this. Just kill them with kindness, you know, have grace and
Well, you know, one of the
and
coolest
solve their problem. Like that's what you have to do. That's it.
The coolest thing is taking one of those people, calling them back, but being positive with them,
Yeah, and
then you
and spin it. You can
completely
totally
spin
180 it on
their
them.
emotions, and they're like, "Oh, damn! Well, thank you for solving my problem
Yeah.
that I had."
I've seen it's happen
All the time.
I've seen it happen multiple
You know,
times.
where if you face their negativity with more negativity, it's just going to spiral into battles with customers that you do not want.
Yeah.
That's not good for anybody.
Never,
You know.
never want to argue with the customer.
No.
Now the email I read yesterday, it was a compliment from a guy who thanked us for the quality that we made, and then said you guys are one of the last companies, are truly one of the last companies, like with manufacturing proudly made American goods, and it was like,
Love
damn,
it.
like
And great customer service.
Yeah.
Here in the States.
Yeah.
Dude, the more
Yeah, you don't get a fucking robot or somebody from overseas when you call or
yeah,
the
email
more
us.
we expand, the more I'm starting to see. I don't want to say I want to touch this fragilely, but
Yeah.
how simple it is to make a business that people want to do business with you with.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example,
Hold on, that was another one. A business that people want to do business with you with.
okay, I added an extra with you with.
I'm
did
with
like
you.
a
Don't
white-
worry, yeah,
Yeah.
We should get a whiteboard in here. Draw arrows.
be good.
Dude, you know
we'll
what?
get
I
hold on,
want-
we'll get a green
no, I
screen
want-
and a whiteboard.
I want Alex on here because Alex says the same stuff and he just lets it go.
What do you mean?
So we both say those
Are
things.
you trying to put this on Alex? Hey, don't make fun of my
Yeah,
boss.
look how he's spinning this.
No, I'm saying I want Alex on it because when I say stuff like that, he ignores it because he says things like
He
that
does.
too
You
that
guys
I ignore
do-
also. So
you
I
guys-
want Alex on here because he doesn't call me out on that stuff, and I appreciate that.
You guys have
You
word
should- Don't
scrambles.
just surround yourself
No,
with
because
yes
we got
men.
so much smart things going on in here that it's hard to keep them all organized.
My words up top, they get mixed up. They don't come out no
Damn,
good.
dude. Yeah. But
I like what you did there.
it comes down to the formula of offering great customer service and building relationships.
Yeah.
And that relationships goes through the emails that you send, the marketing that you have on all advertising, trade shows, when you see people in person. Those two things is the customer service and how can you build relationships with people. When you start to get spammy and salesy and pushing a purchase down somebody's throat is when they don't do it.
You just push them away. You're
Yeah.
spending all
You
this
are.
money to push them away
Because they
you're
don't even know
being
your
way
product
too
yet.
salesy.
You're pushing down all this buy, and they're like, I don't even know you. It's like going on a first date and asking them to go home with you right away.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen, and that's kind of what you do.
You're right, and that never happened.
I mean,
It's got like oddly quiet.
weird, but
Maybe not for you.
when, when you push it down their throat when they don't even know you or know what their problem is, they're not going to buy, or it's going to be much harder to get them to buy.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. And I think for some things that works, but for the quality that we produce and for like what someone is spending on a shop chair that is going to last them their whole life, you can't just shove it down their throat. We need, like, you have to inform them and make sure that they know about the product, right?
Yeah.
And all the way through. So when they click purchase, there is no doubt in their mind that the money that they are spending with you is well spent.
Right.
And you can't do that by sending 100 emails a day or by sending spam emails, like just to try and like. I think our marketing is good for that reason, because like we understand the problems that day-to-day people put up with, you know, in the garage industry or, you know, I guess whatever you would call it, mechanics or, you know, detailers, all those categories. And like for me, when I came into it, I knew the mechanic side. I had no idea about detailing. And like going off to these shoots and like I would, you know, provide a product for them to use, and they'd be like, dude, this is like way better than what we've got.
Right.
You know, and they
You're
use
a good
it.
salesman at
and
trade shows.
Thank you. And, you know, they compare it, and it's just, I don't know. It's so clear to see that a good amount of finesse goes a really long ways in helping your customers understand what they're buying. So,
Dude, I mean, honestly, Alex Hormozy says it best in his podcast. You know what he says?
What's he says? What does he say?
What's he says?
what's he say? You say what he says. Yeah.
Take the time to build a good product and offer a good product, right? Instead of having to take too much time trying to sell the product, right? So
Yeah.
if you just take the time to build and offer a great fucking product right away, it'll be so much easier to sell people down the road.
Yeah,
You know,
I agree.
instead of offering a shitty product and now you have to fucking figure out and hustle and try and find a way to sell this shitty product. Just do it right to begin with.
There you go. I actually think
No,
that's.
you know
I'm
what's
telling you,
happening?
yeah.
This Viper energy is kicking in right now, and I'm like all jittery and like
You got it forces so much words up here,
I
and
know,
you're trying
there's
to
like-
get them out in one hole.
these fucking hamster wheels up here.
He's
like,
speaking in cursive, yeah. All right, that's the end of this podcast. So
Damn, just abrupt end like that. I was just gonna say it that I love. It doesn't give. I don't get heart jitters or like anxiousness when I drink this like I used to with other energy drinks, dude. Other drinks. How many were we drinking? Ghosts and all this other stuff.
God, so much.
And dude, I would seriously get anxious. Like my anxiety would go through the roof, and that's just because they're packing it full of
I don't
caffeine.
get irritable too. I don't get
That's a
irritable
great-
on this.
That's a great word.
Yeah.
Irritable when you drink.
I
all
mean,
that
this
other
right
garbage.
now, like, I could go. I want to go for like a run right now.
Yeah, I
You want
want
to go run after this?
I want to do a
No.
lot of things right now.
You don't want
no.
Sounds like I hate running.
What? Yeah, I did it once on a treadmill. That sucked.
But you just get tunnel vision focus, and you can talk really fast and stumble over your words and stuff like that. You know?
yeah.
your brain moves faster than your mouth does.
Yeah.
But no, this was a good podcast.
Yeah.
I like
I
it.
think so. I think we offered
Well-
a good amount of info to people. So.
We'll tap into 2022 is also a big year for Viper. That's 2022 was a hiring spree, I would say. We brought on a lot of people in positions that we needed. We learned a lot on hiring also of the do's and don'ts, when to hire and when not to.
A lot of don'ts.
A lot of like
Yeah.
that would be a great episode in its own of what we learned from just the hiring process
Well,
itself.
if it's on your brain,
Well-
we'll launch into it next time.
Yeah, next time. But that's a massive topic right there because there's a lot of things you could do wrong of hiring the wrong people
course.
and rushing it. So
Hit us with a Viper Energy ad here.
this episode was brought to you by Viper Energy. We got some new cans on the way too, which are sitting in my office right now. They look sick. But Viper Energy is a brand new energy drink that we just launched about a week ago now. You can go and purchase it at viperenergy.com. That's VYPER energy.com. One of the main purposes we came into the market for this was we were just simply sick and tired of all the artificial junk that we were putting into our bodies. Just like we were talking before, it would cause irritation. We get anxious. We would get just kind of moody. And not only that, but you can feel your heart beat and pound when you're drinking 300 milligrams of caffeine with all that other stuff, and then you get a massive crash, you drink another one, and it'd be just a massive roller coaster. So we came in the industry with Viper Energy. It's all natural. You have no artificial ingredients in there, and you're also backing it with vitamins, essential amino acids, along with L-theanine. So when you mix L-theanine with caffeine, you get an absolute tunnel vision focus. So this is brand new energy drink. Highly recommend you guys checking it out. Now available on viperenergy.com. Thanks for listening.